Grimrock later.
Thomas, Lester, are you guys kind of looking as you're, maneuvering your way through this mess towards the other exit?
Yeah, I'm definitely
try and
looking
see if I can
around.
grab a couple dozen.
Okay, so Lester,
I'm not even
Glitter?
going to pick up any wine.
okay, Glitter, and Thomas, you two give me perception checks. And if you have searching, please feel free to add that in there, that focus bonus also.
Okay.
Just waiting for Glitter.
Hey, I had
It's
new
hard,
stuff
'cause
out of the
You
way.
gotta click the picture of the dice, and then you have to move them with your mouse.
Guys, got to get your screen organized.
Absolutely. That's what I keep telling her. I'm like, Glitter, how come your screen's not organized?
Well,
I
organize
rolled.
and you won't have that problem. Okay, I see it now. Too bad we didn't have timestamps. There'd be like 2 minutes between
I know.
Thomas's.
2 hours later.
Glitter thinks she found the bottle, but as she lifts the bottle off of the rack, the bottle's empty. The base of the bottle has basically been cracked off as the rack kind of fell over. Now, Thomas, on the other hand, you find a bottle of spirits. You find an unopened, beautifully sealed bottle of wine. And it's from the brew corps. It's actually from the brew corps, the beer baron. This is a rare wine that the beer baron had actually produced. Well, the company that he had purchased it, from the previous owner. So this is actually a pretty rare bottle of wine. They're definitely worth some coin, that's for sure. But you also think, man, this would be a hell of a good drink too, especially being at least several hundred years old.
I'm gonna start whispering under my breath, chug, 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 chug.
But you do eventually make it to the other side of this node, and there is another hallway that leads to another node.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just follow them then, and we'll head towards the other hallway.
Okay.
So
It is.
everybody's out like collecting beers. It's like all of a sudden, and I was trying to get that TV screen. Nobody helped me. Now these idiots are just going collecting alcohol. I think you guys got a problem.
Right. Grimrock and Thomas, why don't you guys
Intervention.
add on your character sheet bottle of wine and then put rare from Arnon Reed, and we'll take care of that later.
And then in parentheses put filled with larvae will kill you.
Don't listen to Lester.
I never do anyway.
Ernest and Julio Gallo, right? Oh
You
no!
know what, Lester?
You find a box of wine an
Bartles
unopened
James.
box of wine, not a bottle of box.
You know what, Lester? This backpack of mine is getting really heavy. I think you should carry it for me if you don't mind.
Carry your backpack. What's in
I
it?
shouldn't. Oh my shit!
That's disgusting. You dwarf. You have. What are you?
I'm a fucking gnome. How do you not know that after all this time, Lester?
You know what's disgusting? Filling your
It's not
bag with
shit. It's not real shit, Lester. It's my stuff.
Oh.
How we
Good
digress.
Requiem.
Yeah, okay, your stuff. I'll go ahead and carry your stuff then.
Thank you, dear.
I'll swing. I'll just put that on one thing. I'm sure it's, since you're so tiny, it's all like just filled with doll clothes for me. It's like, what? You're so cute! Like a little.
When he goes to pick it up, because it's just so packed full of shit, it weighs like 30 pounds.
30 pounds!
So what do we have for light sources here for the party? What do we have for light sources going on?
I don't know. I'm still carrying around that pebble.
You can
yeah,
you can transfer that if you want to. You can transfer that light to the end of your staff or something.
Hey,
Yeah,
transfer
I'll
to
do
the
that.
bag that I'm carrying, because then
All
it'll
right.
make it light.
Ha ha ha. Yes, I put it on my staff. Knew it was coming.
Man, man, I'm getting all those doubles in there. I didn't mean to get a double in there, but kind of.
He deserved
only-
a double. Don't worry about
That
it.
was only a single day, but I mean, you know, don't overstate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf. I don't need a light. I don't care.
So as you're traveling into this little narrow passageway from one node to another, you can see that the room illuminates as all of you start to enter, and Glitter enters the room. I'm sure she's probably last. She usually is.
Of course.
And the room illuminates, and you see a very large door on the opposite side of where you entered. And this is the, you know, and Lester would, I'm assuming he probably has his, you know, pad 5000, whatever the heck he calls it. Or I think there's
It's not the pad 5000.
Didn't you say that there was like a built-in screen on your Nintendo Power Glove that you have, and you just kind of watch the screen on your glove? I think that's what you were saying, right?
Sure, let's go with that, Dave.
Okay, well,
Power gloves are
this
the
was
best.
like 10 weeks ago.
I
But,
can't remember, Dave.
Okay, I can. That's kind of funny how the DM can remember,
Does.
you
He
know,
remembers
remember all
that.
this stuff. Yeah. So this is the room that's unmarked, Lester, and you know this has a door, a very large door, and it doesn't look like, as you kind of look around, there are no footprints in here. It is not, the room is not destroyed in any way, and when you get up to the door, there is no door handle. There is nothing. It is just a door that is inset into the wall. Of course, it has a door border around it, a door jamb, stuff like that. So
I'm looking for any kind of bumps where I can put this ring into. Any kind of depressions in the door. I want to kind of look around the edges and maybe on the walls on the outside.
there is actually. I'm glad that you brought that up, because there is on the right-hand side of the door, there is a small rectangular, like a little small rectangular impression, with 3 divots in it. And then, you know, as you kind of, you know, your eyes start to adjust with the light from Glitter's spell, you can also see that there's a control pad on the left-hand side of the door. So this triangle divot is on the right side of the door.
Okay.
On the left-hand side of the door is a control panel, and you know, blow the dust off of it and whatnot. So.
I'm used to that. Nintendo. That's what you have to do to the carts. Well, I'll definitely take the ring, and I don't remember the colors right offhand, but obviously with 3 divots on the side of the door, it's going to be either one way or the other. So I'm going to try it. I'll 50-50 it, Dave.
Well, actually,
It's like a USB port. You got to put it in 3 times though.
well, the
even though
stones
it's only 2 ways to
have different. They have different forms.
Oh,
So
okay. It'll
you-
only go in correctly one way.
Correct. Yeah, it's like working on one of those little kid workstations with the plastic and the wooden blocks you got to jam into the star hole
Yeah,
and the
I
square
don't think
hole
that's
and stuff like
a
that.
called a workstation. Dave.
Well, it is. It's to
I don't know
teach
where you
kids
trained.
shapes, sure, and coordination and whatnot. So
They're
yeah.
shape sorters.
So you get the ring to line up. You know, you get it lined up, you press it in, and all of a sudden,
I have the ring.
Oh snap! You're
oh,
right,
here we
my
go.
bad.
Who has the ring?
Thomas, my bad. I'm
Thomas
sorry. I remember
does.
giving it to you.
So is it on Thomas's sheet? Because I looked on everyone's sheet, and I did not
Well,
see it.
I had just given it to him earlier, like a few minutes earlier, because I gave it to him so he could open the door.
Oh, okay, I see it on there now. Anon Reed's ring.
Yeah, he just.
So
quickly added
Thomas,
that.
all right. So Thomas plugs the ring into the little small triangular impression that's on the right side, and the door starts to illuminate with the same bioluminescent light blue and green, sort of like what is on the Mansion network here, but also the same color that was all throughout all of the pillars as you know, were walking up to Reed Estate. So as everything starts to light up, this is where we're going to take our break. Alright, so this door slides open. Kind of shakes the room a little bit. This door hasn't been opened in quite a long time. Well, as the door opens, it is a small circular room. And as the door slides open, light starts to peer out of the crack and then starts to flood into the room that you're in. A very light bluish, light greenish type of light. And there's all kinds of runes and inscriptures that are just lining the walls of this small circular chamber. And in the middle of this chamber, there is a sort of like a dais, or a raised platform in the middle of this room. So what do you guys think?
I'm scared to do anything. Yeah.
You guys are speechless now.
Well, I was waiting for more description on the room. Anything else in there?
What else do you need to know? I mean, I've told you to...
What color's the carpet?
You hear a very... there's no carpet in here. I would have told you if there was carpet. There is a very, very low type of humming as well that is coming from the walls and coming from all around you.
Well, I'm gonna move up and take a closer look at this dais. This platform in the middle of the room.
Sure. It has the same illuminated scriptures and all kinds of different arcanic symbols and whatnot. Scribes. They're all
can I
glowing
read any
with
of this,
low
or
blue or low green.
I
Sure, you
read
can
any of
give me an intelligence arcana check if you have it.
Probably not.
If it's
not my
scripture,
forte.
you should use your religion check.
All right, I don't know what it is.
It looks German to you. You're like, what now? You definitely think it's magical. I mean, it just looks it just looks magical. Nine.
Read this for me. Hey, Lester. Well, do you understand this stuff?
Well, I do understand a few different languages. Let me take a look at what I can do here.
It's probably magical, maybe?
Magic.
If it's runes and inscriptions.
So should
Well,
I-
you know that sort of thing, Glitter. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have any arcana check. I do scientific lore.
Come here, guys. Don't be cowards. It's not hurting anybody. Come into the room.
Alright, I'm gonna kneel down and look at these, or look at just kind of examine all these runes
Well, you're
and
so
stuff
short,
like that.
you don't need to kneel.
While I'm doing that, I kind of do a back kick into Lester's nuts. Just kidding.
Okay, give me an intelligence check with our arcana if you have it.
I do have
For these nuts.
nuts. Intelligence Arcana, lore. Yes, I have that.
These runes and scriptures and symbols, it's all about time travel. It's all about traveling to another place. There's symbols representing the Chaos Wars. And all of these symbols and whatnot kind of remind you of the same symbols and iconage and
The other
designs
place.
from the Chamber of the Staff of Forlorn Hope.
That's why I start looking for it. Like, is there a place that looks like the staff would be placed in here or something? Or I mean, just
Do we
kind of
got-
a long shot, but
Do we got to do the blood thing again?
There is actually a small, sort of like triangular hole in the center of the portal pad.
okay. I walk over and
No,
Try-
it's the ring.
Oh, it's
Ring?
not the ring. You look at it, and it doesn't have the holes for
Oh, okay.
The 3
Ring.
gemstones.
It's
on
for
the
the
ring.
staff.
It's a larger.
And
It's a
so-
larger triangle. Yes, it does match up to the staff. Correct.
So I go over and still with a grip on the staff. I plant the staff down into this hole.
Okay, so when you did that, who all is on the teleportation pad?
Oh, I guess I would.
Oh,
be following
yeah,
her to
I'm
check
up there.
things out, since I was trying to.
I don't think
course.
Thomas came in, so I don't know.
No, I'm
Tom-
in the room. I'm just
Okay.
not on the pad.
Right.
You're just not on the pad. Okay.
I would have walked up to the pad because I was trying to decipher the scriptures, the inscriptions.
You come up with the same result, Lester. It's pretty much the same thing as what you saw in the Staff of Forlorn Hope.
Oh my God, that means
But-
it's blood time.
Well, not really, because as soon as Glitter plants that staff into the middle of the dais on the floor, all of a sudden there is a flash, and all of a sudden the pad activates very bright light that illuminates the entire, and you have to squint your eyes, it's so bright. So all of a sudden all of you appear on a similar pad, and you're like, that wasn't really too bad.
I look around for Thomas. Is he with us?
Thomas is not there. But as you, just before you say something, the floor gives away beneath you, and you start to fall into darkness. Thomas, the room that you are in, the floor just shatters like glass under you, and you start to fall into darkness. Now, as everyone is traveling through this vortex of time and space, you guys are just kind of like in a free fall, and you just really don't know what is going on. But then all of a sudden, bam! Everyone hits the ground. It's sort of like not as in a falling from the top of the Empire State Building type of slamming onto the ground, but a pretty hard jolt nonetheless. Doesn't injure anyone. But now you're on top of a hard, wet stone type of pad. And all of a sudden the humming goes away. You don't hear this electrical humming anymore from the pads. There is quite a bit of water on the floor, so now you're all wet. You're uninjured, but you're all just kind of, disorientated. And you're in a small cavern of natural stone. And the ceiling is just pebbled and littered with all of these small stones that are just kind of, and I'm not talking stalagmites and stalactites. I'm just talking stones that are just kind of hanging on the wall. And there's plenty of condensation on the floor. It's all kinds of vines growing out of this small cavern, which is about 20 yards across. And the cavern slopes away because in the distance you can see that there's like a fissure in the wall. And in this fissure you see a light coming from this fissure. So you take no damage from the fall. And there's vines growing out from the wall, from the ceiling, and this is where you're at. And on the opposite side of you, as you can see, there is a fissure in the side of the wall that has a sort of like a very light blue light coming from it. So, sort of like it's like a light of warmth. And it just definitely gets your attention. But it looks like this is the only exit out of this chamber. And also on the walls and on the ceiling of this chamber, there are also streaks of this blue magic that you had seen as you teleported from that first pad to the second pad, and then basically the pad shattered under your feet. So as you were streaking through the continuum, these same streaks are all on the roof, on the sides of this cavern, all around you.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to this fissure.
Holy crap!
No, it's
Hey,
a fissure,
hey,
not a
Dave?
hole.
Yes.
I said
Dave,
fissure.
the rock on the ceiling, does that match the stonework on the floor that we fell through, quote unquote?
No, but you can see this shattered floor below you.
Okay, so it fell with us.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a physical fall, like a trapdoor type thing. It definitely was a teleportation.
No, but there's all kinds of signs of this magic, these strands of magic all throughout, on the floor, on the ceiling, on the walls to the right and to the left of you. Some of the arcanic symbols are still faintly glowing from the broken floor that you were standing on, the teleportation pad. What do you guys think?
Okay, I get my club out, my police baton. I'm ready to go, and I start kind of poking around the perimeter of this cave, and I'm looking for anything that's beyond what you've described to us. So I know I've got some magical symbols. I know that I've seen growth here. I'm looking for a control panel or a port or something something else. So I'm going to start.
Like something that shows technology, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to start just kind of working my way around.
Okay. Yeah, you can just keep.
Around the
You can keep. Yeah, the tokens are locked, so you guys can kind of give me a path of what you guys are going to walk. I had also heard that Glitter is going to be making some movement as well.
Right,
Lester,
I'm gonna
Thomas, what are you doing? Thomas,
go right
you were
for the
saying
fissure.
something. Okay.
Yeah, are we actually back together now, or am I?
Correct. Yeah. No. All four of you
You
are
fell through
together.
too, buddy.
Well, yeah, but you all were in a different area.
Your
before
token
that
is
happened, so I
the.
just-
Yeah, your token is the one, the blue one there up top there.
The woman-looking one.
Not the woman-looking one. No wonder why you cut that cord of the teddy bear. Alright. So I will go ahead and approve that move. You go ahead and slide over to the side of the wall. Thomas, you move forward. Glitter, I know that you were talking about moving as well. Lester, what are you doing?
I'm going to pass, Dave.
You're just going to kind of hang back?
Well, I mean, I'd like to try to determine where exactly we are. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of consulting my
Sure.
devices or ascertaining a little bit more of where we are. Now, I know that Grimrak said he's looking for technology.
Yeah,
I'm
he
looking
is.
more for...
Is this the fissure down here?
That's okay. Yeah, on the lower right-hand side of the map, correct. Yeah, the light that you see with the blue kind of fissure coming out of it, yeah, that's the light source coming from the other side, yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna walk down there and try to put my hand on it, kind of see if I can sense any kind of magical
Okay.
thing going on. Kind of see if I can see anything through it.
Okay, so I know that both of you are trying to, are you trying to work together to find out what's going on? Because I know you're kind of both doing the same thing.
I'm doing my own thing, but I'm going to stop halfway through.
Okay.
I'm going to get kind of next to Thomas.
So
Glitter's the one
as
that's
you're kind
gonna
of
sprint.
as you're looking around, Lester and both Glitter, why don't you guys give me a couple of, I'd say, intelligence arcana checks, and drop them into the tower for me, please. Wormfood, you can tell that just looking at the debris from the pad, this isn't supposed to happen. And Misty, yeah, you definitely, Misty, know that this is like a major anomaly. Basically, this pad was destroyed, and it looks like it was probably from the weight of all of the weight on the teleportation pad.
I knew
And
Thomas should have been snacking less.
all of the streaks and whatnot that are on the, not only the the walls, the roof, the floor, it's like you're kind of, the teleportation was basically broken here in the continuum. But you're physically still here, but the teleport is still probably somewhere close. So what you're thinking, especially with Misty, Misty's coming up with most of this because of her role was outstanding. Now, like I said, in the teleportation process, the pad broke, and you ended up here. You're not to the final destination of where you were teleporting to. But like I said, all of these fissures and stuff are leading in a certain direction or in a certain path. And like I said, at the light at the end of this fissure, you can see that all of these, these lights and runes kind of continue on that same path. But you are still in the physical world.
Okay, so Glitter, were you heading towards that glowing light?
Yeah, just as Glitter gets here, all of a sudden, all of you start to hear a rumbling type of sound that kind of envelops the entire cave, and I'm trying to find my rumbling here. But anyway, everything starts to rumble, and all of a sudden, all of these rocks that are attached to the roof and on the sides, they all kind of collapse and make a huge whirling swarm of rocks. And they kind of peel apart and form two sort of like, I want to say, whirling rock creatures. And there's one that is between you and the exit, Glitter, and Thomas behind you. You can feel the debris hitting you in the back, and you're not taking any damage from this yet. Let's go ahead and roll some initiative.
Whirling rock creatures.
Because you're not, I'm not going to give these rock creatures any kind of surprise, because this took about 10-15 seconds as you guys were, moving along this cavern. So you weren't totally surprised as they just instantly appeared in front of you. So everybody go ahead and add your rolls to the order window, and I will go ahead and roll some initiatives as well. Okay, I don't have initiatives, so I will just go ahead and do a dex roll with a 2. So that'll be a 12. Two more, that'll be a 13. And the final one, I will go ahead and roll in a little bit. So, alright, so we have one of these rock creatures. It will go first. So Thomas, behind you, this stone moves a little bit closer as it grumbles and rumbles and works its way towards you. Both Lester and Thomas, both of you, are going to be attacked because you guys are in this frenzy of rock and debris that's just swirling around, and you're just being consumed by all of this debris. So I will go ahead and do a attack on both of you, and it'll share the same attack. All right, so that is a 16 versus your defenses, which